Okay, so it just got real. Okay, this is what I would call a very, very complicated relationship, toxic. We want to get X out of there. And the problem with this, if I wanted to make X the subject or write X in terms of A, B, and C, the problem here is that I can't make numbers smaller. So if I had like 10 minus 3, then I could write, oh, that's 7. But if I had 10 minus A, that just stays A, well, 10 minus A, or B minus A just stays that. So that's the reason these are a bit more tricky, because we can't really make nicer and nicer numbers and reduce them smaller. So let's just take a look at this. We want X the subject. So just like in the previous videos, we just have to think, what is X doing? So X is obviously being like A is being subtracted from X, and then that is also being divided by B. So there's two things happening. So in order to get the first thing gone, I'm going to have to multiply by B. So multiply by B over 1, multiply by B. So these would cancel out. So what I'm left with here is X minus A. And C times B is just BC. We usually go alphabetical with these types of things. Now, if it was a 4 here and a 3 and a 4, then yes, we'd have a nice number like 12, etc. But now it's just variable. So we do exactly the same thing. And there I have a minus A. So to get the minus A away, I'm just going to plus A on both sides. So X will now be BC plus A, or A plus BC. It doesn't really matter which comes first, because it's, 1 plus 2 and 2 plus 1 is the same thing. So now X is in terms of A, B, and C. Okay, let's take another example. Let's say there's an AB that's equal to C. No X's in this one. But let's say we want B to be our subject. So we can't just divide by B, because this B is multiplied by this A, and then also there's like a square root thing happening here. So we have to undo this part. So we have to square this on both sides. So then I'm left with AB is equal to C squared. And if I wanted B alone, I divide by A on both sides. And there I would get B is equal to C squared over A. I know it's not a nice number. I know it's not like 5 and 7 and minus 3 and we're all happy and emotionally stable. I know it's weird, but we're just doing exactly the same thing. Instead of it being numbers that can reduce into smaller numbers or change, it kind of just stays those types of variables. Okay, let's do two more. Let's do A, the square root of X is C. And in this case, I want X to be my subject. So in this case, I can divide both sides by A, because the A is, that's the X is being like it's a square root of X times A. So I just kind of go the opposite route, and I would divide the A's, and I'd be left with the square root of X is C over A. And now, because this is the square root, I can square it. Square the whole thing. So X would be on its own, and this would be, I can leave it like that, or C squared, or A over A squared. It's the same thing. That's the same as C over A all squared. Same thing. This would probably be preferred, but yeah. And then for the last one, I think this is X, Y over Z is equal to T. And in this case, I'm going to multiply with the Z, because I want the fractions gone. So I'm going to have XY is equal to TZ. Let's just make the Z like that. Doesn't look like a 2. And to get the X alone, I just have to divide by Y. So X is going to be TZ divided by Y, because I divided both sides by Y. Okay, that's very simple. Okay, in the next video, we're going to do some very strange ones. So take a look at that one. I hope, just make sure you sit down and have a like sweet snack with you before you watch that video.